Hi guys, welcome to Cliff Alerts. Today we will be reviewing The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 12, Episode 4. And in this episode, Crystal is doing too much. Crystal has reverted back to that childhood fantasy stuff, starting stuff, and then when pressed to reveal the sources, she retreats and says that she doesn't want to give pertinent information as to who said what. It's some ish. Seemed like when she's challenged, she claps back in a way to get in your head so you can imagine scenarios that may or may not have occurred. And that's what makes everything she's doing in this episode foul, in my opinion. Before we go any further, please like, share, subscribe. If you're returning to the channel, subscribe. We appreciate you. And as always, send us your comments. We really enjoy reading them and I enjoy responding to them. So we begin this episode with that upset of last week. Garcelle calls Crystal to come back to the house and break down why she said she felt that she was not in a safe space. So she returns to the house. She gives her explanation about not feeling validated when she said that she felt violated last year. And they had their conversation. But then Garcelle said that I felt no matter what Sutton said to you at the time, you would have thrown her under the bus. She decided to go in deep with that childish behavior of planting a negative seed and then not revealing where she got that information from. She basically implied that Sutton last year said something about Garcelle. When Garcelle asked her what it was, she said she's gonna withhold that information because she and Sutton are in a better place. Carl piped up, I didn't hear Sutton say anything negative. Crystal told Carl that, oh, of course you don't remember, you were drunk. But from what I recall, Carl was not drunk. I'm not sure what Crystal is doing, but what she's leaving is a ugly, nasty taste in Garcelle's mouth and in the viewer's mouth because we are just gonna make stuff up. And she continuously said that Sutton said something dark. The race thing is always gonna come up if you don't insert the right information or tell the whole story. And grown women gotta feel strong enough to tell the whole story. Because Crystal said last week that she did not feel like she was in a safe place. Yet she lobs this bomb at Garcelle and leaves her hanging without telling her what Sutton said. Garcelle and Sutton are friends. She needs to know what she said in the past and challenge her if it was something crazy. But Crystal decided that that was what she was going to do. The same safe place she wanted last week was she wanted to undermine someone else's safe place. And that is reckless. As usual, the girls are going somewhere, and this time they're going to the opening of Sutton's store in Beverly Hills. She got her French designer in. She said it was all couture clothing, and couture clothing is not for everyone because some of it is a little strange to look at, particularly what Sutton had on. But that's just me. This time, Diana Jenkins, this is a second time going to a store, so I'm happy for her. She's making progress. Erica, although she was invited to Sutton's event, she decided not to go. Her glam squad was at her house, and she was saying that Sutton owes her an apology because she was stating all these things about her which never really occurred, which is insane. Carl had a conversation with Sutton, trying to make her remember the conversation she had with Crystal when they were in the kitchen talking about race. And Sutton, instead of trying to remember or be curious about what Crystal said to Garcelle, Sutton kept pressing that they need to just turn the other leaf and keep it moving. And she kept expressing that, and of course Carl, who's a pot stirrer, that didn't sit well with her. Garcelle too asked Sutton whether she remembered anything that she may have said that was dark. And Sutton again said she can't remember and she prefers to not revisit the past but move forward. Rita and Carl is coming to the party and they realize that there is a paparazzi out front and they're gonna ask the obvious question to Dorit about the break-in. I imagine Dorit found another way inside the building. Carl interviewed and then everybody went in to look at these fabulous clothes. The ladies gathered at the store, and the topic of conversation was about Sutton saying something dark. Carl is pushing Crystal to expound on what she said in Lakita and tell the group what she believes Sutton said that was so dark. Sutton was also present, and everybody looking at each other. Sutton said again that her preference would be that they don't revisit the past but move on to the future. Garcelle was clearly upset. She believed that Crystal threw Sutton under the bus. She told Sutton she should watch her back because her newly forming friendship with Crystal could be in jeopardy. You know what we do if the information is not given, we come up with our own scenarios in our head, and it's not a good place to be. So that's why the stuff that Crystal brought up is so reckless, because we see someone manipulating a situation for their benefit, and it doesn't put Crystal in a good light at all. In fact, her ass need to get an award for her ish. That's all I have about that. I thank you for watching. Do allow people to get into your head with their crap. And I mean it. Do whatever you need to do. Walk away, shut the person down. Don't let their negativity get in your head and steal your joy, because that's exactly what they're trying to do. And they do that not because they're trying to save your feelings or protect you. They're really trying to do harm to you psychologically. So if you have a friend that does that mess, you need to start stepping away, get a full blown picture of what you're dealing with. That's all I have. God bless. Bye bye.